Hi guys, so following on from the previous video that you probably just watched and I uploaded recently, what are the real things you need to do for success, future success with your reef aquarium? Well, first of all, as I mentioned, there are a few things in the earlier video, but when you set up your reef aquarium, some of the most important things are the following. You need to have good flow and movement within the tank. You need to keep everything moving around so there's a good flow of water around the tank, keeping everything clean and keeping detritus and other factors moving out the bottom of your tank. Mechanical filtration is totally important. So you want to keep as much particles that are in the water out of the tank as possible. So you want to be taking as much stuff out of the tank as you possibly can. So mechanical filtration, movement in the tank. Another main factor you really need to keep on top of is continuity of all your different levels in your tank. So it's vitally important that you have good lighting set on a proper timer system that will be equal every day and not any different. And you also have a good water top-up system so your water salinity never ever changes. What I would suggest you do if you've got a sump underneath is have your sump illuminated so that you keep your pH pretty regular day and night. So everything you can do to keep the tank as stable as possible is an advantage. When you first put your sand in the bottom of your tank as you're setting your tank up, if your tank is cloudy with the sand going in, you're already backpedaling. Before you put your sand in the tank, rinse. Make sure there's no dust or no cloudiness coming out of the tank, so that when the tank has the sand in the tank and you stir the tank of the sand in the bottom of the tank, there's no cloudiness of the water. My tank now with the substrate is 5.5 months old, and if I stir the sand around the bottom of the tank, nothing happens at all. Another main factor for that is you want to vacuum the bottom of your tank every 2 weeks and do a small water change. So basically you want mechanical filtration, stable conditions, good lighting, and nothing clouding your water whatsoever if you can help it. If you do them things to start with in your tank, if you start your tank up with clean substrate and a good mechanical filter, whether it be a filter sock, a filter roller, or if you're using a sponge system, make sure you clean that sponge every week. Make sure you clean the sponge in tank water and not in tap water, because the chlorine will kill the bacteria in your sponges. Likewise, when you're putting your sand in the tank to start with, if you've matured all your rock and everything and your substrate that's going to go into your tank, you can wash your sand in tap water, but be aware that tap water contains chlorine. So if you wash your sand to get any dust out of the sand in tap water, put it into the tank, leave it at least 3 or 4 days before adding anything to the tank, so that any chlorine in that residue in the sand evaporates out of the tank and out of your system. So again, I hope these tips are useful for you, but this tank of mine has been going 5 months now. I don't have any problems whatsoever. Like I say, I vacuum the bottom every 2 weeks and change 20 litres out of the 200 litres. So 10% water change every 2 weeks. And start off right, have a bit of patience setting the tank up and letting it mature. If you're going to mature your rock, the best way to do it is how I did it. Mature your rock and your substrate outside the tank. I'll talk in more depth about cheap bacterial substrate for the tank. I've used volcanic rock, volcanic chippings in the bottom. It was a bit of a gamble. I've heard people have had great success with it. Other people say it's a no-no. But there we are, guys. Have patience, start off slowly, make sure there's no added dust or detritus or anything in your tank that you want to be clouding the water with. And again, I hope these tips are good for you and they bring you some help in starting your tank. If you've got any questions, please ask in the comments below. And thanks for watching this video. Peace out, guys.